Hey guys, I'm still here in Botswana in Gaborone. Anyway, I ran across kind of an interesting lock, at least for me. You don't see these in the US too much. It is a Yale, but it's a, as you see, it's a Dimple lock. Let me see if I can get a good focus on this key for you. Kind of unusual for us. Anyway, I thought I'd go through quickly. A lot of people have asked about these, and this is a good opportunity to talk about how to open these things. A couple of tips. The first thing on these locks is you want to make sure you get your tension wrench in there well. We can't do like we can't place them like we do in normal pin tumblers, for example, down at the bottom, because for some reason these Dimple locks tend to seize up. So the tension wrench will seize up the core by binding against the body if we try it like that. Now, because this one is not mounted in a door, it's a little easier. If it were in a door, we'd have to choose kind of a weird angle and come in like this to lock it in there. What I like to do when I place my tension wrenches, obviously I can position this lock any way I want. I like to find a place in the warding where I can slide the tension wrench. For example, let's try like right there. See how it slides in there? And I know I'm applying tension to the core, and because it's well away from the body of the lock, I know I'm not seizing up the core inside of there. So that's kind of like how I like to do it. Now, I assume you have a set of Dimple picks. Just a little flag is what I'm going to use. Now, how do you go about doing it? Well, these are really pretty easy. What I do is I put a rather significant amount of tension on the tension wrench, and then you just place your pick and you just start pushing it to the rear, and when you hit the binding pin, it'll stop. It'll be just like hitting a speed bump. And it happens that this first one appears to be the binder, which is really fortunate because you can see right off the bat we have at least one binder, and it's going to be the first one. So when we hit it, what you do is you release tension just a little bit, and you allow yourself to work your flag around the top chiseled point of the pin, and then again apply just a little bit of pressure and work him down. Slide him down slowly. Till you hear him set. And there we go. We got the first one set. And it took a little longer, but I'm working at kind of a strange angle here around the camera. And then, again, apply pretty heavy tension. After you've got one pin set, now we're going to try to find another one. So apply heavy tension, and just take your flag and slide it along the top of all of the other pins. And the ones that aren't binding, you'll slide right by them. You'll feel them, and it'll allow you to count the pins. So just slide back until you find another binder. And in this case, it feels like the last one. So we've set pin 1, and now I'm stuck on pin 6. Again, move him to the right side of the pin. Place your pick on top of the chisel point and release a little bit of tension and set him. And there we go. I don't know if you heard that, but it was just a slight click. And then now you've got one set. We've got 6 sets, so now we just need 2 through 5. One of those has to be the binder. Again, apply heavy tension to cause one of them to bind up, and just slide the pick until you hit the binder. And it feels like I hit him. I went right by pin 2 and I stuck on pin 3. So let's see if we can set him. And I feel like I might have slipped off of him, but that's okay. We'll confirm that. Again, heavy tension, slide it to the rear and see if you got another binder. And in this case, feels like pin 4. So pin 3 must have set. So let's try to set pin 4. Get on there. The hardest part of these is placing your pick. You don't want to set them until you're sure you got that pick positioned perfectly on the chisel point. And there we go. Alright, so now it looks like we have a really serious fault set. So we know for sure we've got 4 of those pins set, so we probably got 2 left. And because we got a good fault set, which really is our objective. This tells us that we have at least one security pin in here. So let's see if we can't find him. Again, heavy tension, because we want that pin to seize up. We want to hit a speed bump, and we're going to push it back there. And I feels like pin 3, but let me double check everyone to make sure he is indeed the binder. And it does, it feels like he is, and this works exactly the way it does with pin tumblers. We're going to position our pick on the pin, and we're going to apply just a little bit of tension, a little bit of pressure on the pin itself, and then we're going to get some feedback. And it's going to be difficult for you to see here because of the angle, but if you look at my left thumb, you can see it bouncing just a bit. Now, because of the extreme angle, this is a pretty severe fault set. We know this is probably a spool, and it is a very deep cut spool, otherwise the angle wouldn't be quite this obscene. So I'm going to position the pick on him. I'm going to apply a little pressure and just see if we can work him, because I'm definitely getting feedback on the tension wrench, and I feel like I slipped off of him there. Let's try it again. And there we go, picked. So apparently he was the last one, and so we only have, it looks like, 2 security pins in this Yale Dimple lock. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to somebody. These are really not that hard to pick, and it's not a lot different. The signals that you will get from your tension wrench on Dimple locks are exactly the same as pin tumbler. The way that you detect binding pins is exactly the same, and really the only difference is the tool. Instead of working vertically, you're working sideways with this little flag to push those pins in place. You got a little bit of a constriction in the keyway, but aside from that, these are exactly the same locks. They work exactly the same way. So don't be discouraged, don't be intimidated when you see Dimple locks. They're really, fellas, they're really not that hard. Anyway, everybody, thanks for your time. Stay safe, stay legal, and I've got some videos, animals. I'll pick one out and put it at the end of this video. Anyway, thanks for your time. Bye.